Oh shit, wait, can I?
Yes! That's sure, well, we're just towering trees, you know. Sometimes it's all here over That's how I feel like buying
Slay.
Is that actually what you were It's true. It's true.
All right, yeah, there you go. So we're just gonna kick it off. We got some people closing out tabs in the other room, but might as well just start. First of all, to anyone who came to the bar tonight not anticipating listening to me talk, I apologize, but welcome. This is the first. Is there anyone at the bar who doesn't know what's going on right now? Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So Union Omaha, it's professional soccer. This is the first of our Team Talk series, where we're just going to, casually, once a month, go out and engage with all of you, whoever's interested. This first one is going to be myself and Dominic Casciato, our head coach. Future ones will be heads of different departments, some players. You know, just try to give everybody a holistic view of how the club works, and let you all ask us questions, and try to be as transparent as possible with everybody. Just really looking to build this relationship and engage with everybody here more often. So we've got a live stream going. Josh Sindler might be interrupting people to call out questions from the live stream when they come across. And yeah, listen, we are, what, 4 days away from the first game, kickoff of the season. UNO at Caniglia, I think I'm safe to assume that everybody here has tickets, but if you do not, what are you doing? Get your tickets?
Get your ass in here.
But yeah, listen, this is casual. I've got my beer next to me, Dom's got his water next to him. And yeah, just here to answer any questions you guys may have. Just have a conversation, open up lines of conversation with all of you. Dom, I don't know if you want to say anything or just wait for questions. Feel free to shout them out, raise your hand, whatever it may be.
Thanks, guys. Good to see everybody again. I feel a little bit silly that I'm the only one here without a beer by the looks of things. Maybe that can change in a
We
little
can
bit.
fix that.
There we go.
What do you want?
Whatever you're having. Thank you. So, yeah, guys, happy to be here and fire away with any questions that you might have.
Shit. In your introduction video with the El Paso locomotive, you mentioned that you were looking forward to the tacos in El Paso. Have you found a favorite taco place here in Omaha yet? Would you like recommendations?
I actually went for my first Mexican yesterday by the stadium, a place called Azteca. We went for lunch, which was pretty good, but always open to recommendations. So what do you got for me, Chip?
Lots of great places. I would go to Isla Del Mar if you want seafood tacos. If you want to go for El Paso tacos, just want some really great spots. La Choza is the best spot. That's on Dulce. Shout out to Giovanna's. And then my favorite is if you go to El Pabloito. It's on 24th and St. Mary, or 28th and St. Mary's. That's one of the best spots in town.
Thanks, Chip.
Hoppy taco next door. Yeah, that's right. Initial impressions on the preseason. You've had half a dozen friendlies or so. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, it's been a really positive pre-season. I think as a new coach, all you can ever ask for is that the players buy into your ideas, right? And they go for it 100%, and the guys certainly have done that. I think the good thing for us, results have been positive. Right? We haven't lost a pre-season game. Performances, I'd say 75% of the time, been super happy with. There's definitely some room for improvement, and I think we need to be a little bit more consistent with and without the ball. But I think we're in a really good spot to start the season.
I'll follow up. Since we're obviously making a sorry, I didn't know.
No, please.
Obviously, I know we're making a transition with the coaching staff, and we have a lot of new players. Do you have a system or philosophy that you would share for us about how you would envision the team playing this year?
Well, seeing as I'm sitting next to a Fort Madison player over here,
He did.
No, look, I think in all seriousness, you know, for me as a coach, I always look for two things in my team. It's one, that the team enjoys what they do, so I can enjoy what I do and what I watch. And two, that they come and want to learn every day. And I think the guys have taken on the concepts in terms of our playing style really, really well. I don't want to give too much away before Sunday, but hopefully you like the product that you see on Sunday, and that'll be a foundational step, and it'll get better and better every single week. So looking forward to entertaining you guys, and hopefully plenty of wins this season.
Lady, yeah, get warmed up. Suppose that the answer to that last question for those that are sort of the way.
So Blake was the front office. Pleasure meeting Dom. Well, it's not only the front office, but anyways, without giving up too much information, what can we anticipate moving forward in terms of style of play from what we've seen the past few years?
Blake.
Yeah, nice to meet you, sir.
Oh, I'm in the live stream. Awesome.
That's like everybody.
Now look, I think there's been a lot of success here, right? And I've said this before, there's been a great foundation laid here by the previous coaching staff and everything that went before me. So I think for me it'd be pretty naive thinking I could come here and just rip it all up and start again. That's not necessary here, right? So it's not going to be a revolution, it's going to be more of an evolution and changing some concepts, some ideas, but very much looking to continue our winning tradition and being fighting towards the top end of the playoffs at the end of the season.
While you're all thinking of your next question, is that a Reuben?
Yeah.
How is it?
I don't know.
All right, well, let us know soon. Happy hour just ended, but what did everybody think of the Dell? That I had the fish and chips myself. No idea what just happened. Yeah.
I'll piggyback on Blake, front office, won't stand in front of the camera. So you mentioned last year's squad, revolution to the evolution. Tell us about, first of all, besides some great returning players, tell us about some of the new guys and what we can expect from them.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a 50-50 split in between returners and new players. Some of the new guys got in a little bit late, right, so they're a little bit behind the rest of the guys that have been here from day one. But some of the guys, or all the guys really, have just been fantastic. But the guys that have been here from day one of pre-season, I think have really bought into the ideas of what we're trying to do. They've meshed really well with the returning guys. Before I came over here this evening, we were at Virtuoso Pizzeria, and the guys were making pizzas together, which I thought was a nice way to bring the group together. I'm a little worried now without the most overweight team in the USL. But hopefully we've got a few days before Sunday to make sure we're in shape. But no, the new guys have been great. We've brought in guys with experience, guys that know what it takes to win. So someone like Stephen Dos Santos, who's come from Tampa, where every single year he's competing for a championship. Gold record speaks for itself. A guy like Alexis Suarez won the USL Championship with Louisville. Played, I think, almost 100 games in the USL Championship. Joe Gallardo was an all-league performer, a few years ago before going down to play in Mexico. So everybody we brought in was with the intention of improving the squad, right, and upgrading the squad. And I think we've done that. I think we've done a great job in that. And big kudos to Peter for making that stuff happen and getting some of those deals across the line.
In a comment, you got good guys. Just the way they interact with the community and the office staff.
Yeah, and that's really important, right? Because we spend a lot of time together. So if you come in and you're dealing with people that are just hard to deal with, it makes this job that we do because we love it, it makes it pretty miserable. So I'll let you in on a little secret. One of the first things I tell the guys, and I don't have any rules really, I don't have many rules, but the one rule we have is a no dickhead rule. So if you want to be a dickhead, this is not the place for you. And I think everybody buys into that, and it also allows me to be flexible, right? It allows me to come down pretty hard on certain things and then let other things go,
Does that rule look like a fan base? I'm just curious.
You guys do whatever you want.
I'm pretty good with it, but how's the youth system?
Yeah, so we've got Yoskar Galvan, who is from Lexington, Nebraska, who was our first ever Academy player and was our first ever Academy professional signing. He'll be in his third year with the club. I think he's 19 right now. Yeah. This is really the year for him to show that he's a pro. He since he joined us, he got to represent Guatemala, his parents' national team at the under 20 level. And he has grown, though he still has some room to go. But yeah, no, he's shown a ton of confidence, and for a 19-year-old, being his third year in the pros, this is a big year for him as a turning point. Also, we signed another academy player, Anderson Holt, who is a big, talented left-footed center back, 18 years old. He came up, he was with the Queensboro FC Academy in USL in New York. It's rare to find a physical profile like his in a center back at 18 years old. Left-footed, reads the game well, big and strong. The main goal of that signing is to see him develop into, somebody that can be a starter in this league and potentially beyond over the next few years. But he's taking everything on really well and looking like maybe he can find some minutes this year. If it goes that way. We also, if we're talking about youth soccer in Omaha, there were some players that we had out to our invitational trial who we identified in the community and invited to come out and train with professionals who looks like they themselves could be professionals pretty quickly. So I think it's a tenet of this club that we want to be finding young players, developing them into professionals who are able to contribute at this level and hopefully beyond. And when the time comes, move them on to that next level. And it's something we're always looking to do, is identify these young local talents that have that kind of potential. So they're out there. We're going to expand our youth kind of footprint as the years go on here, and we're excited about it. Our average age this year has gone up. We signed maybe a little more on veteran players this offseason. But listen, we've still got 2 teenagers on the roster who are showing really well in training.
Yeah.
Piggyback a little bit off of that. Are you going to expand the youth clinics this year? Get more out there? We ran 3 last year. Increase the number.
Yeah. So the CHI clinics that we do we're going to be in 5. We're going to put on 5 different clinics this year at 5 different neighborhoods throughout Omaha. One will be at Warner Park. We'll be out in Pavilion. We'll hit South and North Omaha definitely. Last year we did Lincoln and actually had a great turnout. And I think we may do that again. We're still assessing the neighborhoods, but we've got 5 we're going to do, and right now 3 are kind of finalized. So Council Bluffs is high on the list as well. We'll probably hit Council Bluffs. But yeah, thank you. That's so that for those who have relatives or whatever it may be, kids from 8 to 12 come out. We put on a free soccer clinic. We provide all the gear. We provide the coaching, and it's with our first team coaching staff and with our professional players. And they're a really fun experience for the kids. Everybody goes home with a t-shirt, with autographs, with a water bottle, and hopefully having learned something about how the pros played this game when they were younger.
I just want to make a comment to that, and it depends on how many people have kids here. I've had some friends who throw their kids in there. They've absolutely loved it, and like the parents did, and they watched too. They've enjoyed it. Like the staff, the players, like they're all so good at working with the kids, and it's one of the I'm super proud of this club for having that first. So thank you so much for continuing to do that, but also having great players out there helping the kids and laughing and having fun and making it fun for them. So thank you.
I don't personally have any. That'll work. Next question.
What was the question?
If they get called up for the World Cup or something.
Coach, thoughts on playing at Warrenfield?
Great question. actually saw it today uncovered for the first time, and it was really great. It was beautiful. So, no, I'm looking forward to getting over there and getting playing. Obviously, the first couple of games are coming here, but it's nothing like your own stadium and your own home, right? To get going and to make your own. So, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Will the dimensions and the kind of setup affect you? How do you anticipate them affecting your thinking as we switch from particularly attacks?
I don't think it's going to affect me at all, to be honest. The game is the game, and you always have to adjust to different pitch sizes, different surfaces. I think within the game, the people that respond quickest to changes like that are the ones that do the best, right? It's the same in life. The people that make a mistake or something bad happens to and they dwell on it for years and years, they probably never get anywhere, right? The ones that bounce back quickly are the ones that go on to get where they want to be, and that's what we're trying to do as a team. So for me, whether it's turf, whether it's Benigno, whether it's Vernon Park, we just got to go out there and do the business. So it doesn't matter where it is, we make it our home.
We had one from maybe online.
Yeah, well, not online, it's just me. What's a characteristic of the squad that you have found that you weren't necessarily expecting? Like something about the nature of the squad that surprised you?
On the field or off the field?
Either, all the above. Something that, I don't know, something about the group of players or the mentality, or maybe it's the returning players specifically, or maybe it's since you've gotten them together, that surprised you.
So, I stole the mic from Dom. I'll speak to off the field specifically. Something that, we filled about 50% of our roster with new players. Something that, I don't know if it surprised me or not, but I found interesting. We brought in a lot of serious guys. We brought in a lot of experienced pros who are very serious about the work that they do. I think we've had conversations about trying to get some jokers in the locker room too occasionally. And listen, they exist. You guys all know Shivani Willis. But yeah, that was one thing. We were looking for a very specific playing profile, and turns out, I guess, at least in this off-season, that playing profile also coincided with a pretty serious professional. I'll let you take on field if you want.
Yes, it's a great question, Jack. I think Peter said it. It's a serious bunch, but I think we've also got some guys in there that can lighten up the mood. I think first and foremost, somebody touched on it earlier, maybe Josh. It's just a great group of guys, right? It's a group of guys that want to come and work hard for themselves, for each other, and for the club, and for the fans every single day. So I've been really impressed with that and the attitude of the guys. I think if there was a word I could use to sum up the on-the-field stuff, it would probably be resilient. Because there's been moments in these pre-season games where we've been really good, and then there's been moments where we've not been so good. But we've always managed to kind of manage those moments, which has been really pleasing for me, and hopefully something we can take into Sunday and the rest of the season.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
So, you're already wearing the Madison colors. I got a question. At the unified game against Madison, are there going to be more unified games this season? Have more teams expanded into the unified program?
That's an awesome question, and I'm really happy you well, I'm a little happy you asked, because also we have a press release coming out later, so, but yes, actually, so we are maintaining the unified series with Madison. We're going to do a home and home with them, competing for that same trophy that our unified team brought home last year. But Colorado Springs in USL Championship has added the unified team as well, and we're going to do a home and home with them also this season. So we'll be bringing the Colorado Springs Switchbacks unified team to Warner to play after one of our games, and I don't think I'm leaking this. I don't think I'm leaking this, but you asked. So the USL Summer Showcase, which is going to be in Colorado Springs, and for those that don't know what that is, it's a match that is centered around USL summer meetings, which get basically every decision maker throughout the entire USL ecosystem in one room for 3 days, and it culminates in a match every year. And after that match, our unified team will play in a summer series game in front of all those people against Colorado Springs. So yeah, I love the question, and the support from this group and all our fans last year of that was special, and it's a reason that it's expanded. And I'll say, at our winter meetings in Chicago last year, the president of Forward Madison and I just did a brief presentation, conversation about the Unified Series. Literally every single club in USL League One has been working this offseason to creating their own unified team. So, listen, it's only 3 teams this next season, but I think after we get this product in front of all the decision makers in USL, I think it's got a good shot of being a national competition that we started with Madison. So it's exciting.
Semi-follow-up question. With that event, which I love, by the way, especially some of us family members that fit into the profile of that, has there been thoughts into bringing in organizations like Mosaic of Omaha into games, especially for that series or other games as well?
No, I mean, yeah, we're of course brainstorming anything like that, but listen, if you or anybody in this room has ideas about how we can ramp this up, I mean, we've done a lot of good things in the 2 seasons so far that I've been here. The Unified Series is my favorite thing that we've done, and I think it's only going to expand. So yes, please, if you have ways that we can help, that we can do this better, please come in, send us an email, give us a call, whatever it is. We want to do this.
From the Independent. Goals, how are we going to score? We know you were the set piece coach kind of from out of El Paso. What are you seeing from the team?
Sorry, I missed that last bit. What did you say?
What are you seeing from the team, like goals scored by score goals?
How are we going to score goals?
Yeah.
It's $1 million question. I think we've got great returning players, right? Guys like Murray Mesa that know where the back of the net is. Obviously bringing in guys like Steven Dos Santos, Alex Stein, we're really excited about as well, a talented young player. We've got the players to do it, and I think we've got the system to do it as well. I think the way we're going to play is going to be quick, it's going to be attacking football, and I think it's going to be the type of soccer that you guys want to watch and you guys want to come and see every week. And the type of stuff that's going to entertain you guys. So hopefully that includes lots of goals going in the opposition net as well.
Piggyback on the goals, who's going to be the problem child with cards?
JP, it's always you.
Dominic.
I've got to be really careful how I answer this one. Who had the most yellow cards last time?
Yeah.
JP?
Yeah.
Was it not Wes Nims? Wes Nims? I'm probably going to say Wes is going to be the problem child. Yeah. That's what I'm going to go for.
Okay.
All right, so while you're all thinking more questions, I have 2 questions for you. What new signings, or actually let's just talk players, break it up. What returning players were you most maybe surprised or pleasantly surprised, please? Who are you excited that we've got back specifically this year?
Yeah. Dion. I wasn't going to say it.
He switched right back towards the second half of last year.
Yes.
Different players.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Better.
Yeah. How about the new guys? We got a lot of new guys in. Different positions. Anyone we're especially excited to see? Alexis Suai. Yeah. Pedro Villavelle. Me too. Why Alexi?
Looking at this film, it's strong fundamentals, take up a lot of space, and he can
move the ball really well. He's good.
Good scouting.
Can we say Dom?
Yeah.
I'd say Dom too.
Dom's a good signing.
Yes, good guy.
Brown number.
Moderately high, depending on the state.
Is there a similar trend in ISIS players?
Yes and no.
So the question, guys, we didn't hear, it was just about exchanging film during pre-season. With the team that we'll play against, like generally one of us will film the game and share it with each other. But then we tend to try not to allow other teams to access our footage. Right? So I know Madison would have been calling the guy that we've been playing against saying, hey, would you send us the video? So before every game we call those guys and we say, listen, before we come and play you, let's all agree not to share film. So that's kind of how it generally works in pre-season. There's always a chance that somebody lets you down, right, and somebody sneaks the footage out. But generally, most people are pretty good about that stuff.
Sean, you posted a goal that you had. I think it was against Drayton. From like the center circle. We're going to see a lot more shots from that far out. Shivani?
Yeah, it was the Thursday game.
Shot from midfield in St. Louis too, and did not score.
I'm guessing he didn't post that one, right?
Yeah.
So tonight we've been blowing away secrets through pre-season, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, he's putting them on his
That sounds about right.
Along with all his trades, it's 20 seconds.
Oh, actually, speaking of that, is there a question? I'm gonna fire you. Has everybody met Rita yet? Rita, put a hand up, please.
Hello, hi.
So,
Hi, Drea.
What's up?
Rita's new to Omaha from Florida, most recently.
Yeah.
And she's our first video, her job is video. She is filming, she is editing, she's producing all of her video content. We've never had this role before. So now, we've got some more bandwidth. We can do some more behind the scenes type things. We can do some more video that we can share on social and YouTube and all of the above. What type of content would you all like to see?
Biased, but yeah.
Liking the players. Mic'd up. Mic'd up. The questions.
Questions are good.
Yeah, the question training.
Yeah.
Practice, yeah.
Anything else you've
Cooking
seen?
with the players.
Go on. What?
Cooking with the players. We did that with Crawl Over Pandemic. And
Cooking with the players.
I just heard that Anderson is quite the cook, so.
Anderson.
Yeah, Wes told me. Yeah.
Alright.
So.
It'd be fun to see the players make pizza with the local pizzeria.
There'll be some content on that. Anything that people have seen other teams do on their socials or anything like that you've
I also
enjoyed?
get mic'd up stuff over practices, but gotta get someone who's doing it.
Yeah. So in those videos that you've seen, who should we pop the mic on? Who's good? Yoskar. Ronnie always.
Connor mic'd up during games would be great.
Oh my god.
Mic'd up, more mic'd up, yes.
It's not during games. We actually, there used to be ESPN, the broadcast, used to put a microphone in between the benches up until the first game of last season. When we had to eliminate that really quickly. It now goes to midfield on the fan side. So take it easy, please.
I was going to say Mike's in Burn at 119.
No.
Yeah, we're not going to do
No.
Mike Aaron up.
No. I mean, I can hear her across the field. No, I'm not coming to games then.
I think, maybe like tactical video, like game breakdown videos.
Like
Dom's busy, maybe Dom doesn't always have time, but someone, on the staff who can break down how plays develop and how goals happen.
Like it. It's a good idea.
Teach us.
Nice. I think we can accommodate, yeah.
Yeah, don't teach the other team.
Well, that's, it's fine.
They're just going off like their favorite skills. We're still trying to figure out how Giovanni makes his shots, so.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We got Joe Brito. He's got some juggling tricks that second only to me in the Union Omaha organization. I don't know what you're laughing at.
Doing a front office crossbar challenge.
No, you don't. Front office crossbar challenge.
You don't
Like
need
that.
ball.
Tech ball.
I do think it would be great to get to know some more from other people.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Give me the mic.
You know,
Just kidding.
maybe come out in front of the camera every now and again.
Like Blakely.
Yeah, there we go. Comes on the side.
Literally in front of you.
I'm curious, Peter, about your thoughts on some of the nightly promotions and things that you have going on this year. Anything that excites you that's new this year? Or that...
Yeah, well, for the first time, we will be having a nightly promotion every game, which that alone is big. We've got, Andy's not here actually, but Andy Rosno, who developed our promotions calendar this year, I think has done a really good job. The ugly sweater night, have we shown the sweaters yet? All right, they're ready. Oh, did it? Oh, it's today. Yeah. Oh, well, they look good. They're good. Yeah, that's a good call. Jordan, come on up, please. Jordan Yerum, our head of group ticketing here, is our expert on group nights and what's going to be fun this year. We're going to get out the rundown of our group nights, what you're looking forward to. Group nights, promo nights.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to our youth soccer night, World Soccer Night. It's gonna be really fun. Hopefully we'll get a lot of youth soccer teams out, and if they do come out, they can the team will wear their jerseys pre-game and during warm-up. So that'll be a really fun one, I think. So.
That's an excellent call, one that I forgot about. If you are affiliated in any way with a youth soccer team or a high school soccer team, coordinate with us to get us the jerseys. Yeah, the players are going to wear them and warm up. So, good call.
Go Louisville.
Thank you, Jordan.
Relatedly humble.
Hummels going really well. You've seen two of our jerseys this year. I don't think we've done full kits yet. Maybe we have, but no, I don't think so. Yeah, but you've seen two of the jerseys. Jack Yates here has designed more than two, which we're excited about. Jack, can you step up to the mic, please?
I can step up without the mic.
Jack is going to project. Okay.
Sexy voice, Jack.
So Jack designed all of our Hummel custom kits this year. You want to speak to what you were going for with them? What accents you like on them?
I mean, we wanted something different, but not something different, but not so different that it doesn't look like a USL team should be playing in it. And I've seen some of this. Anybody else? I believe Luke has a question.
Answer yours.
No, I need direction. Go ahead.
No, this is a follow-up for.
Okay. Well, I mean, we took inspiration from Alpha, we took inspiration from other jerseys that we like. The one that we still have coming, I think is going to be maybe the coolest one.
Is it a pride one?
I think we can say
Yes.
Yeah, my next question, follow up to that, is it going to be available so we can wear it on Pride game?
Yes, I think so.
Oh.
Right?
Well, we'll certainly be selling it at that game. But are you saying we should sell it before that game?
Yeah, so we can like show up and wear it versus like, hey, I'm wearing this jersey, buying another jersey there.
What about a season ticket holder exclusive event before Pride Night where you can buy it?
Oh.
With Pride organizations in town.
We're workshopping on it.
Let's get a white one.
We were actually just emailing Hummel today. And we're trying some, so we have the jersey pretty much finalized. We're trying some interesting stuff with the shorts. We're thinking outside the box with this one a little bit, and I think it's I would definitely call it the loudest of the ones in the season.
But
Yeah.
Ford Madison loud?
No.
Tasteful now.
Ford Madison has done some good stuff.
Can you start dressing Peter?
Sorry?
Can you start dressing Peter?
This is
Just
I don't know.
the
I don't know
Madison.
if that'd be smart. Yeah, we respect what Madison does.
That's right.
So, just like, ideally, it would be good to have that available maybe ahead of time, even if it's just throwing it out there since we're all, pretty avid supporters. Like, even if you have some people wearing it, it's a great advertisement, even if you're selling it in the store that day of. You're like, look, I'm wearing this at my tailgate, you guys can go out and buy it as well. I know, like, last year, when we did our Pride Owls jersey, I had, like, random people I've never seen before come up and ask where they could get that.
That'll
So
happen
there
with
is
this one.
definitely demand.
That'll happen with this one.
Yeah.
Is there a corn cake?
The corn kit was a joke. It kind of took on a life of its own, and I'm not sure how much more life we want to give it. But yes, I'm not gonna say never. Never say never. Yeah.
But it's corn.
Yeah, and I think one other quick thing, I'll give the mic back to people who came to see the plan for the Pride jersey is not just for it to be a Pride jersey, it's for it to be our third kit. So it's not a Pride and thing. It'll be worn the rest of the season, when match the colors throughout the regular team, but more than just a Pride jersey, more than just a special jersey. We're excited with that.
Unfortunately not for Jack, because he had beautiful words. But throughout the offseason, we made some great signings, but other teams have also made some very dangerous signings, very good signings. Which one worries you the most? Dom, this is more for you, but Peter, I know you scout quite a bit. Probably have some as well.
I'll hand it over to Dom, but I think Madison did. I think our first game, I think they had a really strong offseason. I think they got one of the forwards in Cheney from Central Valley last year, who I used to just hate playing against, or when we played against them. Madison had a good offseason. I think it's going to be a fun game on Sunday.
Yeah, I'd echo those thoughts. I think Jamie is a real handful, right? You guys are knowing from his time in Central Valley, where it's really difficult to play against, has that physical presence and pace that is always going to trouble teams. Hopefully not ask too much on Sunday. I like the other guys, so I am Crawl, who's the left back from Tucson. Sorry. Also like Dan Kelly a lot, who signed for Charlotte. He's a top forward, I think one of the highest scorers in the history of the USL. He's number one, is he? Yeah. So he's top player. I think he's going to make them better. There's good signings going on all around the league, right? Making each team a bit better each year. So I like to think that the players we've brought in are making us better for this year, but obviously everybody else is doing the same thing. So no, I think it's going to be a competitive season and a lot of good players in the league.
I'm curious your thoughts coming down to League One from the championship. Is there anything that surprised you so far about League One, the quality of League One, or what are your thoughts coming from one to the other?
Yeah, so I think I'll probably be better placed to answer this question maybe a month's time after a few more games under our belt. But I think the difference between the leagues is not that big anymore. And I think there's a lot of players making that transition from USL League One up into the Championship, right? And then that shows you that the gap is getting smaller and smaller, and then the top players within the USL League One can jump up and play in the Championship, no problem. Us, for example, we've had a host of guys that have gone on to do it. Right? Could be here all night talking about guys like Evan Conway, Dammy, who's gone to Sacramento, right? There's so many guys that have made that step up, and I think as the quality of both leagues get better and better, there's going to be more movement of players, right? Because the clubs are going to be more and more competitive. So I guess it's difficult for me to say right now, but all I can tell you is I've been super impressed with our guys and the quality of our guys. and the mentality. And I'm sure other clubs are similar with the quality of players that they've got.
Yeah, and Open Cup last year would have shown what that gap is. I mean, actually, League One got the better championship in Open Cup overall last year. So just to piggyback on what Dom said, we had a few and none of it.
Speaking of this Open Cup, El Paso's had 2 matches now. What do you see now on that? Matches up level.
Yeah, we've lost all 3 of their games. Obviously, they haven't got off to a great start results-wise, but I think they've got some really talented players there. And you know, it's a new start there as well, right? And any time it's a new coaching staff, it takes a little bit of time to get your ideas across and so they can gel. So, you know, hopefully they don't gel in time for April 5th. Hopefully we still catch them on a bad run, but they've got some quality individuals for sure, and they're going to be dangerous, but we'll be ready for them.
To quote the rich homie Quan, does playing El Paso in the Open Cup make you feel some kind of way?
Yeah, it's an interesting game for sure. It's one that I wasn't expecting, but I think soccer and sports in general have a way of throwing these things together, right, and making universities collide like that. I had a great 2 years in El Paso, especially the first year where we won our division. But I'm here now in Omar, and all I care about is doing the best job I can for you guys, for Peter, and doing the best by our players so that we can be competitive and we can win. So there won't be any friends tonight we play El Paso. Maybe some beers after the game when we're celebrating, and we can invite them into our locker room, but that's as far as it goes.
After we beat El Paso, who do you want to play? Careful.
I think we'll play anyone, right? It's a tough competition, so everybody's there to be beaten. Sorry if that's a boring one.
Are you looking to use the same formation in the game, or are you looking to mix it up, combine different personnel?
It's a great question. So I'll throw it back at you and say, does anybody have a plan B that's better than their plan A? Nobody does, right? Nobody does. So I think for us, this pre-season is about building our identity, making sure our formation, our ideas, our style is really, really clear. And hopefully, you know, that's going to be good enough for us in 90% of games. But there's always going to be times where you've got to adjust, right? I mean, naive if I was to sit here and say, our football, our style is going to be so good that we can just go out and not care about the opposition and never have to adjust, right? You always have to adjust, you always have to be flexible, and I think that's a strength of mine as a coach, is understanding what the opposition do, how we can take away their strengths and expose their weaknesses, and that's something we look to do on a week-to-week basis. And the style is always going to be the same, but perhaps we tweak the formation, we tweak the lineup, we make 1 or 2 changes to really accentuate those things that we're talking about, right? In terms of bringing out our strengths and hiding some of our weaknesses.
Alright, this seems like a good time to ask like somewhat obscure question. What is your coaching philosophy or approach? I'm a psychologist, so I like to see how people interact with one another, how the leader interacts with the team. So I'm just curious, what's your style or approach to coaching generally?
That's a great question. So I touched on it a little bit earlier. I always look for 2 things when I come to work every day and with any group of players or staff that I work with. Number 1 is fun, right? Because all of you guys are in here tonight because you enjoy the game and you have fun coming to the games, you love the game. And those players, believe it or not, even when you see them getting red cards or you know, screaming at a referee or making a mistake, they all started playing long ago because they just love the game. And I think professional sports is a tough business, and professional soccer is a tough business. And sometimes you go through so many things in that journey to become a professional that you forget how much you actually love this game. So I always want to put that at the forefront of the guys' minds and their hearts, and just remind them that, listen, you do this because you love it. And if we can create that atmosphere every day, that environment, we're going to be okay. The other thing to go alongside that is learning. So I always want to create an atmosphere, an environment of fun and learning. I think if you're having fun with what you do, you're more open and more likely to learn. And, you know, let's be honest here, am I going to teach someone like Connor Doyle, who's been a pro for, you know, however many years, am I going to teach him to strike the ball better? Probably not. but I could teach him something about the opposition, right, on the midfielder that he's going to be up against this week. And that's really what I see my job as, making sure that our guys every single day have fun and they learn something. And if I'm doing that every day, then I think we're going to be okay.
Are there any games on the schedule that you're especially excited for?
I think Sunday. Sunday's a great one to start with, right? It's one I've been looking forward to. It's obviously my first game as a head coach in my professional career. It's one that I've put a lot of time and effort into getting to this level, right? And I didn't get here just to get here, right? I got here to do great and to continue the tradition that has been set in this club over the last 3 years, which is winning. Okay, and making the fans proud. So, yeah, super excited for Sunday.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's a rule in the game of soccer that you would either change or a rule you would add to the game of soccer? It would make it either more interesting, more fun, I don't know, better.
Why are we trying to change?
Easy, VAR's got to go for me.
Yes!
VAR has to go. VAR has to go. You think about some of the most beautiful moments, or the most talked about moments in the history of the game, like Maradona's hand of God. People still talk about that to this day. Whereas if they had VAR back then, probably shouldn't be saying this, right? Because England got screwed over in that game. But if you had VAR back then, that never would have happened, right? And the game becomes more boring. And you know, you look at the 1966 World Cup. Jeff Hurst hits a shot, hits the crossbar, and calls it as a goal. If that doesn't happen, right? If we have VAR and they say, right, it's no goal, then something that people still talk about to this day, you know, 70, 80 years later, never would have happened, right? So I think for me, it's football's a game of brilliance, but it's also a game of error, right? And I think if we take away all the error, it becomes quite robotic. And for me, that's the first thing I would change, is take away VAR. Keep the goal line technology, but I'd take away VAR. And I think referees, for the most part, especially the top end of the game, and the linesmen, I think they do an incredible job. And if they do make a small mistake, it's just part of the game, right?
It would be difficult for me to disagree with Tom Moore on that one. Those moments that you mentioned are still talked about because they were unjust. They were unjust. Yeah, it's great from the winner side, even though of course Argentina, you weren't on that side, but a whole other country was robbed as a result of those. I am all about VAR. I think human error can happen on the field with the players, and it always will. But I want the refs to have no impact on the game ever. If a ball crosses the goal line, it's a goal. If it doesn't, it's not a goal. If somebody, I want accuracy. I want them to get it right.
Yeah, so you
That's it.
it.
Also, yes, this league doesn't have VAR, which is, which for me, I actually don't like, because we try to build teams that are better than our opposition. We try to build teams that, if everything on the field goes as it should, we're going to win that game more often than not. And I think it, I don't know, I think it favors lucky instead of good often to not get it right.
Somewhat follow-up question. Thoughts on Thierry Henry as head coach of the U.S. men's national team?
I'm thinking Henry is a candidate for the U.S. national team.
Following his
So I think most of you know I'm a Tottenham fan. So anytime you talk about Thierry Henry, it's a bit of a sore subject for me. He's obviously had some great experiences right with the Belgian national team. He's been in the MLS. He knows what he looks like. I do feel really bad for Greg and how that situation has been handled, because I think he was really on the road to achieving big things with that group. So my personal preference would be for Greg to get the job, but I think he's probably too far gone now for him to do so, which is a real shame. So if it ends up being Henry, then I wish him the best of luck.
That answer is sufficient. I'm a huge on Reef End. As a player in my office, there's a plaque with the painting of Henri on it, and I'm a huge fan. But indifferent to the coaching decision. Question for you, while we're on the rules topic. Do people remember the old MLS 5-second shootout?
Yes.
Okay, so just want to know, what do we think?
Never.
Sounds
Never.
bad.
Sounds
Like
good.
that goalie wars.
What's that?
It's good for us. No offense to New, like straight PKs, not great, but I feel like he'd be a freak at those.
That's a good opinion. Yeah. All right. That's just apropos of nothing. Just asking what we think.
I'm curious if Dom's ever gotten a yellow card since I. He will this year.
Oh,
Say.
you will this year.
Have you gotten a yellow card on the sidelines?
Nice.
So I've been coaching for how many years now? 13 years. I've had one card in that whole time. It was last year, away at Loudon. We got pass on. And I can talk you through what happened if you like. So we were winning. It was maybe the last minute of the game. And the ball comes to me on the bench. And we're hanging on for dear life. It's 2-1. So I think, alright, how can I get an advantage here? So I think no one's looking at me and I throw the ball away. The ref comes over, gives me a straight red. Which I've never seen before for throwing the ball away, right? It should be a yellow. Anyway, the story gets a little bit better. As I'm walking off the pitch, all the Loudon fans are screaming at me. You can imagine what they're screaming. And as I turn to look at one of them like that, I see his face drop. And I turn back the other way, and our centre forward goes through and scores and makes it 3-1 for the last kick of the game. So I've got a very card with coming out of us. So hopefully won't be any cards this season, but plenty of wins and plenty of last minute goals for us as well.
So, one, hope you enjoy getting cards because that's what happens with Omaha coaches. But two, we had really strong attendance results. We had 3,900 in NCFC this weekend and 3,400 at Charlotte, allegedly, this weekend. So, what is Omaha going to do to bring the attendance crown back to Omaha? With the strong
Bring the
results.
attendance crown
Yeah.
back. Jordan, you want to come on up?
Matt tasked with that job, and he's doing an unbelievable job so far. A little scoreboard update here. Jordan has been a team of one for this entire offseason, where we last season had a team of 3 in his department. Jordan, as his one-man team, is currently outpacing where we were last year in group sales. And he's taking a higher target, and it's a pretty aggressive target. So hopefully we can find you some reinforcements, but till then, just don't ever stop working. But yeah, how are we gonna regain the attendance crown this year?
Sell about tickets.
Okay. Thanks for coming. Last time Jordan comes out.
Follow up, beer prices, question mark.
Oh,
The same.
as long as they're not increased for like.
Inflation or aluminum prices.
Okay.
Aluminum.
Okay.
Aluminum is up.
Which goalkeeper is more likely to score?
I'll take it.
We can't have a gathering without a stadium up here.
Yeah, especially since the season ticket member party, I really have no updates that you haven't already seen. Things are progressing well. I and others who are involved in these conversations that we can't really discuss are feeling good about it and are optimistic about it.
So this is for Coach first, and this coach has only been here for a little bit. You've been here for way too long, probably now. If you would describe Omaha in a few words, what would you describe it as?
I think first and foremost, welcoming. Everybody I've met, especially you guys, have been super welcoming, so thank you very much. Actually reminds me a lot of England, and it's kind of weird, but the traffic circles you guys have, we call them roundabouts.
Yeah.
And they're not very common anywhere else in America.
Yeah.
But I come here and they're everywhere. So I'm really excited about that. And I guess cold, right? It's been freezing as well. So yeah, they're probably my three takeaways. What about you, Pete?
For me, it's passionate. That probably be the one word. And maybe I'm biased by the group of people that I'm constantly around. But the support that we've had as a club, the support that I've had since day one, like you said, Dom's been here a shorter amount of time, but that he's had since day one, passionate, supportive. It's a reason to work as hard as everybody in the front office, on the coaching staff, and the players have to, because it is a grind. But you know, then we have the highest attendance in the league. Then we have an event like this, and this group of people show up, and despite the fact that we started about 10 minutes late, just been constantly going with questions for the better part of an hour here. That does not happen in every USL market. That does not happen in every MLS market. I come from those markets. This is unique, and it's special.
I can't remember if I asked you about this at the meet and greet because the beer was free. So, when you were looking at coaches, of course, one coach good for you wins. There's some girl at a Dom because it's also an attractive brand of football. Get more people in seats, or is it more? I don't know. What was your thought process behind that?
Yes, no. So that absolutely was a draw, but I'll also say when I learned more about Dom and his history of developing styles and his general beliefs on the game, it also threw up to me, all right, I really need to dig into this, because if we look at the entire existence of USL League One, the champions have not dominated possession. The champions have typically been, counter-attacking, deep block teams, with the exception of North Texas in the inaugural year, and they were just loaded with international stars. So, yes, I love the system. I love Dom's philosophies and his beliefs on how the game should be played, but at the same time, had to dig into that and say, okay, good, I agree. Is that going to win? How is that going to win at this level? And I mean, how many hours did we spend? 6 hours maybe, just discussing over the course of a month and a half, just discussing that. I was more than convinced, and then Dom spoke to Gary, Marty, and Larry in the ownership group, and they agreed. So yes, we want. All Gary cares about is goals, so he put that objective in me at first. I'm a little more pragmatic. I care about winning. So I needed Don to convince me that his style would do that for us. And listen, he's sitting here, so we did.
Kind of a follow-up for Dom. What were your first impressions when you and them all reached out to you?
Yeah, I think excitement was a big word that springs to mind. Obviously, Peter being a young GM, but someone with good ideas and bright ideas, and someone that was in charge of a club that was going places, right? You see the success that the club has had over the last 3 years, and I think for me that was just really exciting to be a part of it. So I've been contacted about other jobs this off-season, but this was the one that really stood out to me, and I thought it was a great place for me to become a head coach and know what that's all about, while also continuing the tradition of winning here and bringing success to Omaha.
All right, well, that's an hour. That's what we planned for. Unless there are any other questions, just want to thank everyone. Oh yeah, here we go.
Is the table bet still on?
For the audience at home, can you explain what table bet is for?
So I'm from Buffalo, New York, originally, and the first question I got asked, and the second and third and fourth and fifth question that I got asked when I moved here was, do I like to jump through tables? And It's a Bills thing. It's and the answer is no, not particularly. No, I've never intentionally jumped through a table in my life, or had never. Had never. Yeah.
You still have.
Still have never.
Table technically didn't break.
But yeah, no. To stop those questions, I did agree in my first year that if we hosted the championship game, the USL League One final, I would at the tailgate jump through a table, or attempt to. The table was all wrong. We gotta sort this out. But yeah, that stands. If we host the final.
Dom, will you jump through a table? After the game.
Of course.
All right. Thank you all very much. Again, if you have not gotten your tickets or have not told your friends to get your tickets for Sunday, Madison's bringing out too many fans. We need to overpower them. Also, Parliament members, raise your hand, please. Yeah. It's great that you're, no, Parliament members is who I'm addressing here. It's great that you're being very welcoming, but do we have to be this nice?
They live in Madison. They need some sort of
I guess the Parliament has invited the flock, the Madison supporters group, to their tailgate before the game, which I think is a little overly generous to a group that we don't like. But anyways, come out, overpower the flock because they're going to be loud and obnoxious and
Are you guys
annoying.
letting them to like riot drums and stuff too?
Are we what?
Are you letting them riot drums and stuff too?
Yes, but they have to obey the rules this time, which they did not last time. And I will kick them out like last time.
They can't fight
and then they will take to Twitter and
If you need
call it
some
unfair.
muscle, you know,
Yeah.
tell us around.
Yeah.
This one can take it. Yeah.
Please come out. Please bring your friends. Dom's first game as a professional head coach.
Yes.
First game of the season.
Signs apply on top of parking garages. It's not on the pitch.
What's that?
Do fines apply on top of the parking garage? Since it's not on the pitch.
Parking garages are international laws.
I can't speak to you on those rules.
Yeah, we're gonna need some legal advice over here.
Brett, thank you.
Criminal defense.
All right.